Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 15 of the F1 2006 Championship Edition career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Italian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, no Belgium in F106, although that being said, with some of the track design, I'm not convinced they would have got Belgium exactly down to a T. But we have some pretty big news as we come into this weekend. We've been sent an offer from Red Bull, except for the fact it's for a test driver role, so I'm not taking it. It would last us all the way to the end of next season as well, which is absolutely wild. But yeah, 3 rounds to go, I believe now, of the Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher still with a 26-point lead, so he could theoretically wrap up the world title at Ferrari's home GP this weekend. Now, of course, we've still got the 3 points to our name, but you know, we want to try and score again, maybe beat out those BMWs by the end of the season. Then Midland, I believe, was still at 9th place overall in the Constructors, so we've been able to bring them off the back of the field. But yeah, would love to try and get a little bit more before the end of the campaign. Of course, if you're new around here, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel, and let's get on with it. Italian Grand Prix time. Well, here we are then, back at one of Formula One's greatest ever venues, and of course, so much history around the Italian GP. But yeah, really looking forward to getting into this weekend. I'm hoping on paper, of course, you know, one of the easier tracks on the F1 calendar. Maybe we can have a better time of things. Not expecting that to be the case, however, to be completely honest. But of course, yeah, this track is all about top speed. I'm just going to be very careful in terms of just trying to make sure that we've got very little downforce on the car. But yeah, we just want to try and survive again this weekend. You know, we'd had a bit of a disaster out in Istanbul. A lot of things out of my control towards the end of that race, so hopefully we can see the finish line. Toro Rosso there. Of course, a time before they'd won here at Monza. And we're going to make contact with him on the exit because he decided to park it there. Must admit, though, that thing probably very fun to drive around here, especially with that V10. That's not the line. Yeah, I must admit, though, curbs aren't seeming too lethal around here, but I feel like our pace is going to really suffer this weekend. We're able to get up towards the red line, over 200 miles an hour by the time we get on the anchors. But yeah, just feel like, you know, this is going to be a track where the AI can carry speed, carry precision, and on a controller, I can't. What I still feel like I'm really having to learn on this game is about trying to rotate the car in as you're slowing it down. It seems to be the best way to extract time on the controller, but just how early you've got to try and tip the front end into a corner, very difficult for my brain to adjust to, because of course on a wheel it's not generally how I drive. Oh, that's not going to help. Keep it out the wall. Just nudge the grass on the way into the final corner. Yeah, we'll definitely need a few more laps here, but I'll join you guys in qualifying.
Welcome to Monza for this afternoon's qualifying session. An hour of high-speed exhilaration and excitement starts here. Session 1 is about to get underway, so let's see who makes the grade and who doesn't.
Well, I think, to be honest, on paper, after a lot more running in free practice, one of the only things the AI is still massively OP at versus me on this game is definitely top-end speed. Monza, it's kind of what this place is entirely known for, so I think we can definitely make Q2, but I'm not quite convinced we might see the same heroics as we have in recent weeks, and that means we've got to try and face turn 1 in the middle of the pack. It honestly might have been wiser here to start at the back of the field, because I feel like I'm going to get T-boned. Right, here we go then. First lap of anger here in qualifying at the Temple of Speed. We've got to make sure that I can see a Ferrari heading out onto the track, make sure they don't get in the way. But how are we going to fare here? That's 1 apex, that's 2 apexes through turn 1. That'll be the best I take the chicane all weekend. Oh, what's going on up here? Come on, people, get on with it. I'm on a lap. I'm hoping they move. Schumacher, I think that is. I can't imagine he's going to move. Oh, there we go. He got out of the way. Michael Schumacher got out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it. Oh, there you go. There you go, Michael. He's still not on a lap, but he's got a dive bomb me. If you want to get past and give me some slipstream, my friend, that's absolutely fine, which he might well do here. Come on, Michael, get on with it. No, why lift? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Michael Schumacher is a complete menace inside F106, but maybe we'll get some slipstream from the Toro Rosso out of the final corner. Come on, give me a helping boost as we make our way up towards the start-finish line. It's going to be a 1:26.2. AI on this game, man. Why break on the racing line there? But we went about 4 seconds, I think, quicker than UGE Day. So hopefully that's going to see us into Q2.
We'll continue in a few moments with the second knockout session, where we'll decide grid positions 16 to 11.
Well, I'm not quite sure how we're 3 seconds clear of Christian Albers here, but it is what it is. I mean, there's over a second gap between Speed and Luizzi as well there, and, well, the Super Agura is barely able to get around here in under 90 seconds. But Jarno Trulli, big shocker out in Q1. We did end up 10th there. If we get some good slipstream in the right places, we might squeeze Q3. Right, well, heading out then into Q2. We've got to try and find ourselves some slipstream again, I think, but it's finding slipstream and then also finding an AI that isn't going to dive bomb or brake check or do any of the above. Everyone desperate then to get out onto a Q2 run, so we need to try and keep it clean and tidy. Doesn't look like we're going to get any slipstream though. But let's try and nail another lap. Almost 200 miles an hour in turn 1. That's not that fast on F106. I'm pretty happy with the run through both of the first chicanes as we make our way up into the Lesmos. Don't dip a wheel on the grass. Make sure I don't cut the second one either. Oh, just very, very conservative. That's annoying. I just cannot get the rotation out of Ascari. Sometimes I nail it. Other times I'm completely off in the sandpit. But we can keep our foot to the floor at the moment. I might not risk that come race day. Then in towards the Parabolica then. I got no idea whether the corner just feels different or whether it's F106. But as we make our way then back up towards the start-finish line, we did a 26.1, 26.2 in Q1. Start of Q2, we're going to do a 26.6. There's more time to be had. Barrichello has set the benchmark. Nope, Felipe Massa is going to smash that out of the park.
Completes his flying lap.
Thanks, James. Yeah, Massa down to a 24.3. That's the kind of pace we were expecting from the AI. Can I nail Ascari this time around? We found 2/10 in Sector 2. That's a much better line there. Come on, one more corner to go. We could be on for a nice little improvement here as Coulthard fractions behind me after his run. So we are right on the cusp. But as we try and chuck it through the final corner. Don't really want to go anywhere near the grass there on the run towards the start-finish line. Of course, this circuit opens up at the final turn. I don't know if we can go over there, so I'm not going to risk it. It's going to be a 25.7. That puts us P7 there, but that lap felt very, very tidy.
We'll continue with session 3 of qualifying in a few moments.
Well, look at that then. 6/10 clear of Ralf Schumacher to make it into Q3 then. That is really not what I was expecting to do here in qualifying, but Rosberg and Villeneuve tied. Anything higher than P10 now is a huge advantage. Yep, and we've opted to go a little bit light on fuel. It's a 16-lap GP. And I've opted to box at the end of lap 7 there. So will mean, of course, when we do a couple of laps in qualifying, the tyres don't have to go as far in the GP. But yeah, anything better than 10th here I'll be staggered with. I'm staggered we made it this far. I think I've noticed as well there's a little bit of a weird glitch in this game. It appears you get slipstream from the car behind. Like, look how much quicker we're going because there's a BAR on my gearbox. Or down my inside, or somewhere nearby. So we might be able to utilise this to our advantage. Yeah, last time around we were doing about 195 out of the final corner. Let's see now then, with the BAR behind me, how quick we can go. Can just about decipher it on the dash. No improvement there, that's a shame. Oh, he's died me though. That's not ideal. Jensen, I don't know if it's Jensen. What's he doing? He's turned in on me. Well, yeah, about 10 extra miles an hour of speed into the corners and a load of extra fuel is certainly making spotting my braking points a rather difficult challenge. But I mean, yeah, look at that. Over 200 miles an hour. Down in towards Ascari there. We'll try and keep it pinned. We'll try and keep it tidy. Luckily, the curbs through there are pretty lenient, and so are the track limits on the exit, so we'll be able to carry a lot of speed down in towards the final corner. Don't really know what kind of times we've got to be aiming for. That's not what we were aiming for, though. We've somehow held on to it. At the final corner we'll go. We've still kept that BAR behind us. But yeah, this has not been a perfect lap time then. First car across the line Oh, it is Button. It's Barrichello that I've been beefing with. Jensen, I do apologise there. And we go 7/10 slower. Well, by using the power of reverse slipstream there and not getting T-boned at turn 2. We're 1.6 seconds up in the first sector. Can we see similar improvement here? Probably not. Well, another 6/10 up though. Come on, we can nail this. We could be on for a... Oh, no, we can't. It's all over. Yeah. 2.3 seconds up. It could have been a mega end to qualifying, but... Oh, we can keep going. Sorry.
Michael Schumacher, Felipe Massa. Results should be coming in thick and fast throughout the session.
I think I might have just killed Nick Heidfeld. There's no other easy way of putting it. I'm coming back out for one final run then here in Q3. Midland did a fantastic job getting a car fixed up, ready for us. But yeah, one more chance. That's not how we're going to set ourselves up. But we have got a Ferrari on my gearbox, so maybe they can drag me along from in front. No, they're going to take... Oh, it's Michael, isn't it? Of course, he's going to take me out. Come on, Shumi, you're better than that. Oh, I'm such a moron. I did not know there was a wall there. We're P10 on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix.
We're here at Monza for the Italian round of the Formula One World Championship. Monza is one of the classic circuits, and it's also the quickest on the Formula One calendar. That means we'll see the cars reaching top speeds of around 230 miles per hour over the course of this Italian Grand Prix. Thousands of Italian race fans are here in force today to witness what promises to be another high-octane dose of F1 action. Pretty much perfect weather conditions for racing here today, so we should see some very competitive lap times during this race. Michael Schumacher will start from pole. Next to him in second is Fernando Alonso. Felipe Massa is in third. Giancarlo Fisichella completes row 2. Montoya takes 5th. Kimi Raikkonen is next to him in 6th. Button is 7th. Rubens Barrichello completes row 4.
Well, I'll be honest with you all then. If we make it round lap 1, I'll be pretty happy.
Just be careful heading into these first few bends, although we've had the tyre blankets on. The tyres still aren't up to race temperatures yet.
Yeah, I'm not worried about me keeping it careful. I'm worried about the AI going for an absolute launch on me. I will give them some credit on this game. It does still feel like they've captured the history of the Italian GP as well. But yeah, Schumacher. When the engine is not interrupting me. Yeah, Schumacher, of course, can become world champion today. He just needs to outscore Giancarlo Fisichella by 4 points or more. I'm sure he'd love to take a title, of course, on the track where he announced his retirement in the real-life 2006 Italian GP. Right, here we go then. Ready on the grid. It's Italian GP time, baby. Let's try and keep it clean and tidy down in towards turn 1. And then after that, anything might happen here. But I just don't want to bin it. We had a bit of a nightmare in qualifying. I don't think that reflected my consistency.
Seconds to go before we're racing. You can really feel the tension.
Be happy with the start. We might go to the inside at turn 1 just to avoid everyone.
So does Michael Schumacher. Here come the drivers into turn 1. Michael Schumacher leads out of turn 1. He's followed by Alonso. Next is Massa.
Well, to be honest, I was not expecting to make up a place off the start, but yeah, my aim was just brake when the AI do, so hopefully no one behind me goes for absolutely, a complete send. But it already looks like we've got a tiny bit of breathing room. So we've got McLarens and BARs, they're going side by side. Heidfeld maybe just getting a little bit caught behind me. Oh, come on, the understeer. So heavy on fuel as Heidfeld actually hits me. But luckily it seems to do him more damage than myself there. Keep it clean and tidy, lap 1. I would love to get to the end of this first lap in one piece. Obviously we're low on fuel, so we should be able to attack a bit more. Tyres basically up to scrub, but yeah, I'm going to have to spend so much today watching the mirrors. No idea what's going on in front at the final corner, but there's a gaggle of about 5 cars there that are all still right on top of each other. Heidfeld seems to again have just dropped back slightly off of the final turn. I'm happy just to sit here by myself for a couple of laps, just ease into this.
With the first lap completed, the field looks like this. Alonso leads. He's up from second. Michael Schumacher is in second. He was in the lead earlier. Massa is third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Barrichello is sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. He's lost a place from his starting position. And Button eighth.
You're doing well. That's the best time you've achieved through Sector 1.
But yeah, Alonso taking the lead away from the Michael. Might give his teammate Giancarlo Fisichella a bit of a fighting chance still mathematically. Jenson Button really struggling in the early stages of this GP. Hasn't quite dropped off the slipstream range of Kimi Raikkonen in front. As well accidentally go down the inside then, off of the second Lesmo. Up into the points we go then of the GP, but will JB be about to fly back past me? Or sit in the middle of the road down in towards the final, towards the end of the back straight? Oh, a little bit late on the brakes there, but we get it stopped. Just keep the door slammed. They are old school AI. They will not do certain things. I know we are on slightly less fuel, I would have thought, than most early on today, but yeah, really do seem to be able to latch onto a car. They drop off the pack in front, and then we kind of just get some easy pickings. The slipstream is definitely still very effective.
About the fastest you've been to the second sector in this session.
So very conscious that I don't want to outbrake myself into the corners. However, we might be able to get a run now on Kimi to make our way down in towards the final corner. Look at the speed down the inside of the McLaren. Easy does it as we lock the rear's axle slightly, but we're through. And we're into 7th place then. He might be able to try and come back at me on the run back into turn 1. Oh, looks like, I believe that's a Toro Rosso that's out of the GP. Oh, here we go. Barrichello, Montoya, side by side in front. Two, of course, are the drivers that finished runner-up to Michael Schumacher in seasons gone by. That won't be the case this year, though, looking at the stats. But yeah, looks like Barrichello's hung on to that one. Again, we're just trying to close in. Kimi. Oh, he had a look for it, but couldn't make it happen.
And the temperatures dropped quite markedly. It's still dry at the moment, but there's a possibility of rain before this race is over.
Please don't say that, Martin, as it looks like we've lost the Super Aguri as well. And Montoya and Barrichello, though, again side by side back into turn 1. Hey, they're having some good battles today. It's rare that we see the AI do this.
Michael Schumacher leads. He's up from second. Massa is second. Alonso third. Fourth is Fisichella. Barrichello fifth. Montoya sixth. You're seventh. And Raikkonen...
I don't know where the oil is. Just going to try and stay off the racing line. As best as possible. There it is. Oh, I just had to blend off. But we're still close. I think that's Barrichello in for a very early stop. I believe we'll be coming in at the end of this one, but that will be 6th. Montoya now seems to have the bit between his teeth, perhaps in pursuit of Giancarlo Fisichella up the road. Yeah, Ferrari have both ousted Fernando Alonso out of his top ranking early on in the GP. But yeah, maybe we can try and get an overcut on Rubens Barrichello here, but I mean, yeah, P6 would be fantastic today. I'd take another 3 points on the board. Of course, it would bump us all the way up into best of the rest.
The tyres are accumulating some wear now. Just keep an eye on it.
Yep, we are going to be boxing now then in this Grand Prix. Looks like a couple of others have decided to dive it in. But yeah, there we go. One of the Renaults. We need to make sure, of course, that we nail our pit stop as well. Don't want to lose any unnecessary time.
Michael Schumacher leads. Massa is second. Alonso third. Montoya fourth. That's a gain of 1 place. Kimi Raikkonen fifth. He's up from 7th. Jenson Button in 6th. You're 7th. And Fisichella 8th.
I don't quite know which button I didn't press that I was meant to, or I pressed that I shouldn't have.
Take it easy out there until the tyres are shown as green on the indicator.
There is Rubens Barrichello.
Less traction.
Easy does it though on the cold tyres. Here we go, McLaren out of the pits. Kimi Raikkonen, so he was behind me. So Kimi Raikkonen's done a good job then on the overlap. And he will overcut himself back into P7 then. Or net P7, I should say. But if we can stay in the slipstream, I'm not going to give up on it. Thing is, those McLarens look very, very racy here. So I wonder if it's worth staying behind Kimi, hoping he can bring us closer to Rubens Barrichello. And then maybe we can try and get all of them. To be honest, with the pace he's got, I'm not convinced I've got much choice. Montoya seems to have had the jump on all of us then, looking on the mini-map. Come on, let's try and get a run on Kimi then, back towards turn 1. I broke late. I've got it stopped though, just about kept it between the white lines. And we're up back through, but yeah, Montoya's got a huge leap on all of us. Here comes Kimi though, not wanting to give up on it, but I need to go in hot pursuit of Barrichello. Oh, here comes Kimi, back down the inside. Oh, we seem to, every single lap, get a huge slide from the rear end through that final corner. Got no idea what it's about, but yeah, I think our final car's then into the pits. We might have one more still out there. Oh, Button's even jumped me. Oh, this is a nightmare. Jenson Button heading back out of the pit lane. Can we get around him? What, we're 3 wide almost. Raikkonen tried to get back in there down the middle. Hadn't even considered Raikkonen in all of this. But we got one more car still out there at the front of the field. So this is, yeah, a battle for the final point. Come on, Jensen, don't leave me to Kimi Raikkonen. I can't defend him by myself. I'm going to be so screwed here, Kimi. Oh, oil. Where's the oil? I'll just gather it up nicely through the final corner. Who's out of the race? Hopefully it's a big name. There's the oil. No! Oh, I hate this game. What am I meant to do there? What am I meant to do?
Into this race, Michael Schumacher leads. Massa is second. He was in the lead earlier. Fisichella third. Montoya fourth. He's moved up from sixth. Barrichello fifth. Jenson Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. That's a jump of 3 places. And in 8th place, Alonso.
I don't get how I'm supposed to survive these races when they're putting oil slicks on the line in the middle of a corner. Like, I cannot avoid that, and then the back end just will rotate on me. How many times this season will points elude us? I just do not know. But I can only assume now we're going to get a crazy result as well, because that's always what happens when I retire from a race. How much bad luck will I get in this series?
Monza never fails to impress, and this season has been no exception. We've seen these V8 cars at full stretch here today, heading down the main straight and into the first chicane, and I can tell you, anyone who said that the V8s would be somehow slow compared with the V10s will quickly withdraw that comment. These are mightily impressive cars, and I think this season is just getting better and better. We must now sadly take an extended break due to the cancellation of the Belgian Grand Prix earlier this year. Join us again in October when we travel east to Shanghai, followed by Japan for the closing part of the season. See you then. The clouds have disappeared now, so it looks like we should have fine conditions until the end of the race.
Well, no idea what happened to some of our drivers. Felipe Massa somehow ending that race a lap down, as well as Jenson Button. But luckily it doesn't look like too many big names retired from the race. Unfortunately, Christian Albers was one of them. But I just don't get what I'm meant to do. When we get those oil slicks, we can't avoid them. I left the steering completely straight, and there's just nothing we can do. I can't remember. I think there might be a Brazilian Grand Prix, so I don't think Schumacher has wrapped up the title just yet. But he might be able to do it next weekend out in Shanghai there. We've been jumped by David Coulthard and Ralf Schumacher, able to score some big points this weekend. So back down to P15 of the championship there. And I think, yeah, Red Bull inheriting a pretty safe P7 ahead of Williams. But we just need one other point score. I thought today would be that day, but we will be back very, very soon. We head to Shanghai. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.